Now with summer fast approaching, I know there's a lot of guys out there wanting to do some work on their bodies, add some lean muscle mass, making sure they look good for the summer months, but they're not exactly sure how to go about doing that. Well, fortunately, today I'm talking to Shameen Adams. He's a top personal trainer who's not only able to advise you on your diet and your training, but also when it comes to supplementation. So let's go find out exactly how to reach those goals.
Transforming himself from a skinny teenager to an Ironman, Shameen started bodybuilding when he was 17 years old, and today helps clients of all ages achieve their dream physiques.
Now summer is just around the corner, and I know there's a lot of guys out there wanting to work on their bodies, add some lean muscle mass, to impress the ladies. Now, when people walk into your gym, into your shop, what are some of their goals like?
Yeah, well, Ewan, as you know, I've got lots of lots of males walking into the store, and each one has got a specific goal. Basically, you've got especially males that want to get bigger, leaner, and then you have females basically that want to tone basically for summer.
Now when it comes to supplementation, there's so much out there on the shelves. How do you go about advising your clients on what to use?
Each one has got a specific goal. So for example, a guy that want to put on weight, you're not going to give him something to burn fat, and somebody that want to lean out, you're not going to give them a mass builder. So you basically find out what their goals are, and you work out eating and a training program according to their specific goals.
Now we often hear that diet is one of the most important factors when it comes to achieving your goals, whether it is to add lean muscle mass or even to shed some kilos. But why would you say that? Why does diet play such a big role?
Well, diet is basically 80% of everything. Where supplementation comes in as well. You got to eat for each, like for a guy, for each kilogram of body weight, you got to have 2 to 2.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So if you got to eat that in like your chicken and your fish and your lean steak, you got to eat like tons of chicken and steak per day. That is where supplements come in, like your whey protein, where you can basically just supplement with a protein intake to boost your protein intake for the day.
So from what I understand, a person's goal really determines how they should structure their diet and also the use of their supplementation. You
have like your pre-workouts, your intra-workouts and your post-workouts. So you got to take your proper supplementation at the right times as well. For example, in the morning, when you wake up, you've slept for 8 or 9 hours. By the time you wake up, the body is in a catabolic state, which means muscle breakdown. So you want to get the body anabolic as soon as possible.
Now let's focus on guys here for a second who wants to add some lean muscle mass. There's various forms of creatine out there on the market. Is creatine a great supplement to help add lean muscle mass?
Yes, no, definitely. For example, you have the creatine X4, which you don't need a transport system with it, and there's hardly any water retention with it, okay? Now, creatine X4, you will take about 4 caps, about half an hour to 45 minutes before your training. What it does, it speeds up recovery, and it also gives you a bit of energy, and it helps with endurance as well whilst training.
So creatine X4 is the one to go with, but what about a pre-workout supplement? Because you want to approach a workout with lots of energy, you want to make sure you get a good muscle pump.
There I'll go with the Anabolic Nitro X, which is an awesome pre-workout. I mean, the pumps you get with the Anabolic Nitro X is phenomenal. You take a serving half an hour before training, you mix it with about 250 to 300 ml of water. What it does, it basically dilates the blood vessels, transporting more nutrients into the muscle. It basically also helps with recovery, and it gives you lots of energy.
Now let's focus on the actual training here for a bit. How should you structure your training routine to get the maximum lean muscle gains?
You find a lot of guys in the gym, they want to push weights that is way too heavy than what they can handle. Basically, I will always say, look at the weight that you can handle. Focus on your form, because people tend to lift weights that's way too heavy, where they injure themselves, they injure their joints. So you go to gym to basically work the muscle and not the ego in the joints. So use a weight that you can handle first of all. So each and every one is going to have different training routines. I mean, you're not going to, a guy that's into swimming or cycling, you're not going to give him 200 kilos to squat. That's why I say each and every person has got specific goals, so you basically work out a training program to suit their goals and their needs.
And for the average guy on the street just stepping into the gym wanting to add some lean muscle mass, let's talk sets and reps. How does it work?
When it gets to losing weight and toning, a lot of people think cardio is the answer, but weight training is basically the most important, because when you do weight training, you actually burn more fat than basically cardio, but it's a good thing to combine the two, okay? And like I said, no matter what sport you do, cricket, rugby, bodybuilding, weight training is the way to go to strengthen the muscle, to make you faster. Weight training is the way to go. I would advise people that actually want to lose weight to incorporate some weight training into their training regime as well.
Thank you so much for all the great advice that you've given us today, but how about giving me a nice bicep workout so I can catch up with you?
The duo does bicep curls, focusing on the correct form and breathing. Shameen believes dedication and focus are key ingredients to success. Building the muscles you crave is a marathon and not a sprint. Start today and you'll see results sooner than you think.